celebrating agribusiness and inclusive agribusiness in Africa, and today in Ethiopia, a country where more than 40% of the GDP is coming from the agricultural produce, 80% of the population depending on agriculture, having, the biggest population of cattle in Africa, you name it. Everybody here in the room is an expert in this matter. I'm not gonna waste my breath speaking or giving you these details, but we're very, very happy that we are all together here to celebrate a 10 years journey of the 2SCALE program. We have in the house people who have started the program in Ethiopia, partners, development partners, implementing partners, private sector, and also representatives of government as well. It is a celebration where we would be taking this forward to the next step. And it's not all kind of programs that have been going through and being implemented across in collaboration with multiple stakeholders, multiple consortium partners who get to see this kind of day. And it's an honor for me personally to have been, even though it's a little window, to have been able to be part of the 2SCALE program for a short while. And it's an honor today to stand in front of you and moderate the session all the way to the afternoon, trying to make sure that we would be on time on all regards, regardless of the starting a little bit of late. I mean, we wouldn't even know if we were in Ethiopia, right? Otherwise. But yes, I'd be trying and doing my best to keep us on time. My name is Brooke. I am the country director for a program called Jaziri by an organization called Alan Angel Grape Philanthropy. We work with young people, startups, 60% of whom are in agribusiness. So still part of this journey that makes it even more special for myself. And without further ado, let me introduce, I believe you all have this agenda of the day in front of you. But to give you a quick rundown of the program for today, we would have, of course, opening remarks by all representatives of the stakeholders and key players of implementation of the 2SCALE program. And then we would have a great coffee break. But it's not going to be only a coffee break. We'd also go downstairs and here as well, do a visit of a presentation and an exhibit, and then also have a little bit of time to have a conversation with one another. And when we are back from that, we'll have some of the experts come to the stage here and share with us their insights on the future and what it looks like to have and include agribusiness, inclusive agribusiness integrated in a continent like Africa, and particularly also in Ethiopia. What does that look like? What is the future going to be? We would hear from them, and then, of course, there would be time for you all also to take part in sharing questions and insights. That's going to be a little short, but we would give you the opportunity also to interact with the panelists. After that, we would have a spotlight by people who have gone through the program and are actually doing the process and the implementation of inclusive agribusiness on the ground. We'll hear from them. Then, of course, the celebration part would come. We'll save the best part to the last. The celebration and transition of 2SCALE to the next phase would be coming at the end of the program, and the best part of the day, lunch, would come at the end. So that would be our rundown, but we would also have a couple of videos to be played here. And before going to the program of all the day, so that they would welcome us and give us a word of welcome, I would be inviting Ato Addis Tashome, IFDC country director and also deputy director of the 2SCALE program. Please.
Thank you. እንደምን አደራችሁ? እንግዲህ በመሃላችን አማርኛም የማይሰሙ ሰዎች ስላሉ አይ ቲንክ ሁላችንም በእንግሊዘኛ መግባባት ስለምንችል ውሏችን እንግዲህ በእንግሊዘኛ እንድናደርግ የተፈቀደልኝ ይመስለኛል። እሺ ኦኬ Good morning, distinguished guests, partners, and colleagues. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to this important event, the closeout of the 2SCALE program in Ethiopia. Today, as we gather to celebrate the completion of the remarkable 12 years of journey, we also reflect on the many milestones, partnerships, transformations that have shaped this program and its enduring impact on inclusive agribusiness development in the country. 2SCALE has been one of Africa's greatest, largest incubator and accelerator of inclusive agribusiness across 13 countries in East Africa, West Africa, and North Africa. It has served as a catalyst for transforming food systems, enhancing food and nutrition security for the low-income consumers, fostering sustainable linkage between smallholder farmers and market, and strengthening the leadership of SMEs, and especially in countries like Ethiopia, with a particular focus on cooperatives to build inclusive and competitive agricultural sector. Through this collective effort, 2SCALE has contributed significantly to more resilient, profitable, and equitable food system in Africa. In Ethiopia, the program journey began in 2013 under the leadership of Tejane Adunya, who is here, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank him for starting this program in Ethiopia. So during the first phase thank you. During its first phase from 2013 to 2018, 2SCALE supported 8 public-private partnerships in Ethiopia involving mainly farmer cooperative unions and private food processing enterprises in vegetables, cereals, legumes, and the dairy value chains. The program focused on improving cooperatives' competitiveness, facilitating market linkage, and piloting product development for the low-income segment of the society referred as bottom of the pyramid markets. Building on these foundations, the second phase from 2019 to 2025 deepened the impact and the scale of inclusive agribusiness. 10 new public-private partnerships were established through a rigorous co-creation process. Some designed to deliver affordable and nutritious food to the low-income consumers while strengthening inclusion across the food value chain. The program emphasized on women economic empowerment, youth engagement, and cooperatives professionalization. We have seen inspiring results. The professionalizations of primary cooperatives through young cooperative leaders, the empowerment of over 5,000 women farmers in spice and herbs in the southwestern Ethiopia, the creation of youth-led professional spray service in vegetable productions, a significant improvement for seed systems in Amhara region for haricot bean and Nug value chain are among the outstanding results of 2SCALE 2 in Ethiopia. In 2025, as 2SCALE prepare for its exit, much emphasis was placed on consolidating and sharing knowledge built over the decades. 3 comprehensive knowledge sharing modules were developed at the program level and delivered through a successful training to representatives of the government all the way from the federal to the district level, representative of the private sector, knowledge institutions, sector associations, and development partners. The Inclusive Agribusiness Club, established in partnership with the African Agribusiness Academy, the Ethiopia chapter, became a vibrant platform for continuing this exchange, ensuring that the 2SCALE approach and its lesson will continue to inspire innovations and collaboration beyond the life of the program. Ladies and gentlemen, as we close this chapter, we celebrate not an end, but a beginning, a transition from program to legacy. The partnerships, the business models, and the knowledge systems nurtured by the 2SCALE will continue to live through the enterprises, cooperatives, and individuals it has empowered. The confidence and the capacity built over these years give us the assurance that inclusive agribusiness movement in Ethiopia will continue to grow and thrive. On behalf of the 2SCALE team, I extend my heartfelt appreciation to all our partners, government agencies who trusted us and gave us the approval to implement the 2SCALE program in Ethiopia for over a decade. Private enterprises, cooperatives, farmer unions, development actors, and all value chain actors whose commitment and collaboration made this journey possible. Together, we have demonstrated that inclusive agribusiness is not just a development concept, but a proven way to resilient livelihood and sustainable food system. Thank you and congratulations to everyone who has been part of this inspiring journey. I thank you all.
Thank you very much, Ato Addis. Really great points. The journey, in short, I know we would need probably quite a semester or two course, right, to fully understand and comprehend the intricate nature of 2SCALE, how many partners took part, how it was designed and how it was implemented, how inclusive truly it was from the inception of the program to the implementation as well, not only through the agricultural value chain players, but also to the end consumers as well. That is something that makes it really unique, right? So it has to be end-to-end inclusive across the value chain, as we business development professionals call it, upstream and then downstream as well. So it has to be inclusive across, and that is literally what 2SCALE has been doing, and it's a great thing to see that today would be ensuring that this legacy would continue. Thank you for that remark and words of welcome. So let's now also hear from partner organizations, and please join me in welcoming Ms. Beatrice Bezmalinovic. I hope I pronounced that well. Vice President of Business Development, IFDC.
Dear guests, thank you for joining us here today. We're appreciating all of your participation in celebrating the transition of 2SCALE. It's an honor to stand before you today as we commemorate the close of 2SCALE's journey in Ethiopia and the continuation of the powerful legacy across Africa through our national partners. What we celebrate today here is not merely the end of a program, but a testament to what can be accomplished through collaboration with the public and the private sector, knowledge institutions, farming communities, and when they unite around a common vision, we create pathways to shared prosperity. So through 2SCALE, we have been able to stimulate inclusive agribusiness models and see them evolve to become profitable and equitable. We look that we're driven by local innovation, inclusive markets, and sustainable growth. As we close this chapter, our attention turns to the future, where the lessons and the successes of 2SCALE will continue to inspire the next generation of agribusiness leaders. And in that, we thank our national partners for carrying the 2SCALE banner forward through their own work. None of this would have been possible without the dedication of our partners. I'd like to express particular appreciation to the Dutch government through the Directorate General for International Cooperation and the Inclusive Green Growth Program, departments that have invested with their trust, their time, their thoughts, and their support for this program on its journey. We also want to extend heartfelt thanks to the government of Ethiopia for fostering and enabling an environment for inclusive agribusinesses, and most importantly, to our business champions and all value chain actors for your hard work, your commitments, and that have brought us to this point. So thank you all for your, and also thanks to our partners on this journey through the consortium that led the 2SCALE initiative. We appreciate your partnership, your confidence in the program, and for joining us today to celebrate this milestone. Your collaboration has been the backbone of the achievements and the driving force of our shared success. So congratulations to everyone who's been part of this remarkable journey, to our staff, to our partners, to the national agribusinesses, to the government, and we look forward to seeing what you accomplish as you take forward this banner. Thank you all once again for joining us here today.
Thank you very much. Short and sweet. A key word that I took from your speech for me is inspiring the next generation in agricultural leadership. That is the trick, right? So that is how we continue embracing the legacy and ensure that the system that we have been building, the capacities that we have built, and the results and impacts that we have deepened would continue. And that is the key message for me, and it's particularly also a job that I would take personally as well, as someone who works with young people, as I said. So it's also up to everybody else to make sure that we share through sharing successful stories, through nurturing young entrepreneurs, would-be entrepreneurs, and so on, so that this legacy would continue because of its impact and its continuity is needed. Thank you very much. Yes, we heard from implementing partners, lead organization and everything, but nothing would have been possible if we didn't have the money for it, right? So yeah, of course. So let's also give the opportunity to hear from the representative of the government of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, someone from the embassy of the Netherlands in Ethiopia. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Hannah Hai, First Secretary of Food and Nutrition Securities.
No. That's so great of Ethiopia. You say one word and everyone says, you can speak Amharic. Now, if you try to speak Dutch in the Netherlands, we would be like, should we just move to English for you? Yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's really motivating for my Amharic class. Dear everyone, dear 2SCALE consortium partners, IFDC, Bob Inc., SNV, distinguished guest, welcome everyone. It's really an honor also for me today to join you here for the closeout of 2SCALE. And I was thinking for us human beings, closing is something often associated with some feelings that are not really positive, right? It can evoke a sense of sadness, loss, or incompletion, or even regret. But I hope that today, at the closure, we really, this brings forward different kinds of emotions. I hope that it evokes emotions of accomplishment, satisfaction, optimism, and yes, perhaps pride also. So for now, let us practice this optimism and pride with really a warm applause for everyone gathered here and all your efforts. Thank you so much. So for the past 30 years, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the Netherlands has been proud supporter of 2SCALE. It was implemented in Ethiopia, Kenya, Burkina Faso, Ghana, Mali, Niger, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, South Sudan, and Egypt. 2SCALE has been ambitious, which you can see from that list of countries. And when we look back on its journey, it's clear how impactful it has been. This long-running initiative has shown us how public-private partnerships can truly drive inclusive growth in diverse contexts across the African continent. And through our collective support, 2SCALE has brought together agribusiness, farmers, development organizations, all to build value change that strive to leave no one behind. And yes, in many countries, the partnerships also experienced a variety of challenges, each unique for its context. But luckily, the 2SCALE teams have proven time and time again to the ministry their willingness to learn and to be adaptive. Zooming in now on Ethiopia, these results here have been really impressive, and Addis mentioned already a couple. So over 160,000 people at the base of the pyramid now have access to affordable and nutritious food products. And over 180,000 smallholder farmers have gained improved access to inputs and markets. So the success of 2SCALE is a strong reminder of what we can achieve when Ethiopia, the Netherlands, and all these development partners work hand in hand. It reflects development cooperation in action, bringing ideas, resources, and expertise to deliver meaningful results. One of the most important lessons we've learned through 2SCALE, and it was already mentioned by Beatrice, is the pivotal role of the private sector. It plays in driving sustainable partnerships. For example, the program placed a strong emphasis on the bottom of the pyramid consumers and nutrition, which is also really essential in long-term growth. So I'm really looking forward to hearing more about the journeys of the companies, the entrepreneurs, the would-be entrepreneurs, a new word for me, and the farmers this morning at the exhibition downstairs. And I also hope that the conversations we'll be having today will reflect the rich body of knowledge that 2SCALE has generated over these 13 years. The valuable lessons on what works in inclusive agribusiness, but also perhaps of what hasn't worked. And I hope that the knowledge doesn't end here. And I really hope that it goes beyond this morning, and others have said that, right? Let this not be an end. Let really use the knowledge, especially from the businesses, the farmers and others who have made 2SCALE what it is, to continue the important work. And I want to mention the continuation of the work is not only the responsibility of those implementing partners that were part of the consortium, but everyone here, right? It's a shared responsibility. And I hope we can here commit ourselves to creating spaces where women and youth and farmers can thrive, to ensure that the private sector, government, and development partners stay united in their purpose to support inclusive growth, to commit in investing in training and capacity building so that farmers and agribusinesses can expand their skills and grow their enterprises and then transform their communities. And fourth, to encourage policymakers to strengthen the enabling environment with supportive regulations and incentives. In all our efforts, though, all these four and many other efforts, let's never lose sight of the people at the heart of everything we do. The Ethiopian farmer households, the youth, the entrepreneurs, the small-scale food producers, and also their food and nutrition security and that of their families. They are the ones that we're ultimately here to support. So the Netherlands remains committed to supporting Ethiopia's agricultural development journey, and we look forward to continuing making this progress together with all of you. Thank you, and I wish you a very fruitful closing day today.
Thank you well, Madam First Secretary. I think by now you all picked my trick of emceeing, picking a keyword from everybody's speech. So this one is willingness to learn and then adapt. That has been the model that 2SCALE has been following all through. It's not one program that was implemented over 10 years. it was a program with the core pillars intact, but it has been evolving and it grew to where it is now, adapting to times and to the changes that the external environments would bring about, right? So that is extremely critical, I find it. And that's also, it's not only in the program development, but also in the handover and next step journey that it has been doing. It has been part and parcel of 2SCALE's approach from all along through the inclusive agribusiness center, where we have been having knowledge exchange platforms, gathering relevant stakeholders, everybody in the room, exchanging knowledge. It's not let's tell you what to do, but let's learn what is working from one another and let's develop. Willingness to learn, but learning is not enough, then take action, right? Adapt. Thank you very much for that message. And we also underscore that the Kingdom of Netherlands will continue the support. Great. Yeah, so I think it's about time for us to hear from, of course, none other than a representative from the Ethiopian government. So allow me and join me in welcoming Ato Diriba Bekele from the Federal Cooperative Commission. Thank you very much.
Dear Your Excellency, Anna Hai, Forest Secretary, Food and Nutrition, Security Cluster Coordinator, Climate and Weather Embassy of the Kingdom of Netherlands. Distinguished guests, development partners, representatives from the private sectors, cooperative leaders, farmers, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is great honor to join you at this important occasion, marking the closeout of 2SCALE program. Today, we come together to reflect on 12 years of partnership, innovation, and progress in inclusive agribusiness developments in Ethiopia. On behalf of the government of Ethiopia, and particularly the Ethiopian Cooperative Commission, I would like to extend our sincere appreciation to the government of Netherlands, the 2SCALE program team, and all our national and regional partners who have played a crucial role in this journey. The 2SCALE program has demonstrated how effective public-private partnership can be in transforming agricultural systems by coordinating the various actors involved in the sector. It has connected farmers, cooperatives, and agribusiness to market, improved access to inputs and finance, and strengthening the inclusion of women and the youth in key value chains. These outcomes directly contribute to Ethiopian broader agenda of building market-oriented, resilient, and inclusive agricultural sector. Key highlights of this, this collaboration has been the strengthening of cooperative as engine of rural transformation. Through 2SCALE targeted interventions, farmer-based cooperatives unions have been supported to improve their access to advanced technologies, innovations, and off-take markets. The program has also enhanced their human resource management, including professionalization of cooperatives throughout the sector, and strengthening their financial management capacity, enabling them to secure loans from financial institutions and attract investments from their own smallholder members. This experience demonstrates how 2SCALE approach to financial inclusion directly empowers cooperatives to become stronger business entities and the key drivers of local economic growth. The achievement of 2SCALE reaffirms our belief that inclusive agribusiness is a shared responsibility that requires coordination between the public sector, the private sector, and the development partners. It is through such collective efforts that we can ensure equitable growth and sustainable food security for our country. Ladies and gentlemen, as we close this chapter, our focus must not now shift toward consolidating and scaling up the lessons learned from the landmark program. Going forward, we are committed to strengthening institutional linkage between cooperatives and private sector actors, creating a policy environment that support inclusive and competitive agribusiness models and building the capacity of farmers and the cooperative unions to operate more efficiently and sustainably. We, as a government, also recognize the need to institutionalize the innovation and the best practice developed under 2SCALE within our national framework. This experience provides valuable insights for ongoing reforms in cooperative governance, agribusiness development, digital system transformation, and the strengthening of the market linkage. Let this moment serve as a reminder that successful programs leave behind not just results, but foundation for the continuity that must be nurtured and expanded through our national system. On behalf of the Ministry and particularly the Ethiopian Cooperative Commission, I would like to once again express our sincere gratitude to the government of Netherlands, the 2SCALE partners, and all stakeholders for their unwavering commitment to inclusive growth. Let us continue to strengthen Ethiopian cooperative movement, keeping our farmers at the center of agribusiness transformation and driving shared prosperity of our nation. May God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Commissioner. Collective responsibility. I'm not going to say anything more. Next up on our program is to see the highlights of the 2SCALE approach. We have a video. Is our video ready? It is? Yes, let's turn off the lights and put on the video and see a refresher of what the approach has been, how it has worked. We probably have been working in it, so let's see how it looks like from outside and at a bigger, higher level. Let's play the video. Thank you.
2SCALE is the largest incubator and accelerator for inclusive agribusiness partnerships in Africa. 2SCALE works to improve the terms of inclusion of smallholder farmers and micro-entrepreneurs through the development of public-private partnerships. How do we go about it? 2SCALE focuses on establishing agribusiness clusters built around business champions. Champions are either entrepreneurial producer organizations or local small-medium enterprises that trade or process the produce of farmers. Mercy of Sweden Dried is such a champion.
We specialize in drying of fruits, vegetables, and cereals and tubers, and we use them to make nutritious porridge flours. And our main seller is our charm booster porridge that we sell to the base of the pyramid consumers. And we have been doing this for the last 10 years and working with smallholder farmers.
Before the master came into our project, we were just doing for our own use, home use. consumption. But after coming now, we have extended income from the cassavas.
L'introduction de nouvelles semences de maïs avec nos partenaires du secteur privé a également eu un impact sur la chaîne de valeur de volaille en Côte d'Ivoire.
Que les semences qu'on utilisait avant étaient des semences productrices, mais le rendement n'était pas si élevé. Mais avec les semences de 2SCALE, le rendement est élevé et ces semences-là résistent au changement climatique. Il faut dire que 2SCALE a joué le rôle du facilitateur avec sa mise en relation qui nous a permis, nous, producteurs de maïs, les éleveurs, les acheteurs, les provendiers, les autres acteurs de cette chaîne-là, de pouvoir se croiser sur un même plateau pour pouvoir échanger et parler de nos problèmes et voir comment est-ce qu'on peut trouver une solution à ces problèmes-là.
Un partenariat commence avec le champion d'affaires en collaboration avec 2SCALE comme facilitateur de PPP ou partenariat public-privé. Capacity building for producer organizations has a significant impact on the entire value chain. These cooperatives become true business champions.
On est 53 personnes d'abonnés au volet. Chacun devrait avoir sa spécialité pour fournir les clients tout ce qu'ils ont besoin en matière de volet. Et grâce à tout ce qu'on a reçu des formations qui nous aident à faire encore plus notre travail. Des 300-500 poulets qu'on faisait, grâce à un partenariat 2SCALE, aujourd'hui on a vu qu'à 30 000 poulets le mois. Donc on peut dire que ça a apporté beaucoup de choses.
Youth unemployment is a growing challenge in Africa. An answer to this challenge can come from the agricultural sector.
Through the collaboration between 2SCALE, Meru Dairy, and the Meru National Polytechnic, we are being able to train youth in handling animals. Personally, I'm a trainer in Meru National Polytechnic, and we develop a special curriculum whereby the young people can now train and get the necessary skill and get employment.
Now I'm employed, I receive salary, I can get off for my needs. I'm so proud of this. Yeah.
L'accès au financement est crucial, mais pas toujours évident. 2SCALE s'efforce à mobiliser des services financiers pour répondre aux besoins des acteurs des chaînes de valeur concernées.
Oui, vous épargnez combien? 000 francs. Ce qui nous a poussé à aller vers l'AVEC, c'est la pauvreté. Nous avons trop souffert. Avant d'aller au champ pour payer même les produits pour aller faire nos champs, aller nettoyer tout ça là, on était obligé d'aller prendre les prêts avec nos amis partout. Tu vois ta parcelle, mais tu ne peux pas travailler parce que tu n'as pas les moyens. Depuis que nous avons connu l'AVEC, en tout cas, toutes les femmes sont devenues autonomes.
La femme aussi travaille pour aider la Côte d'Ivoire. Parce que c'est nous qui mettons toutes choses. On met maïs, on met tout. On met manioc, on met du riz. Si cela c'est produit, la Côte d'Ivoire gagne.
Our collaboration with 2SCALE from 2019 has been amazing. Right next to me, we have the milling machine. We partnered with 2SCALE in the crowdfunding, and also the bank came in to support us. We have not increased the price for our charm booster to the BOP because when we brought in the machine, the cost of production was reduced.
Outre l'amélioration de la production et des économies d'échelle, nous examinons également avec nos partenaires comment mieux commercialiser leurs produits et faire en sorte qu'ils attirent et atteignent les consommateurs ciblés en accordant une attention particulière aux consommateurs à faible revenu.
Our intake has increased from 230,000 liters when we started engagement with 2SCALE to current 450,000 liters per day. Previously, we didn't have the cup yogurt, both the strawberry and vanilla. We've been able to develop that product in partnership with 2SCALE. 2SCALE has also supported us in ensuring that these products are reaching the bottom of pyramid consumers. And we've also done brand visibility in the market.
Accelerating inclusive agribusiness in Africa is not an easy task, but with our adaptive management approach, We have created impact time and again, and that makes us proud and happy. And now let me give the last words to Mama Alice and Hélène.
Merci pour votre attention. La preuve, tout ce qui fonctionne bien. Merci. À
I almost wanted to dance. La Bella, yeah, you know, like the joy and the smile and the pride you can see in everybody in the video. That is really what makes it contagious, right? So anybody who has been part of the program would know, but then you can see it in the faces. It's not a projection of expectation that you see from them. It's a pride of taking part and having agency in the things that they do, being really meaningfully included in the things that they do. That is what we have witnessed through the video. But also talking about the approach of 2SCALE. Very interesting approach. Of course, agricultural value chain integration, but not only integration, also the integration needs to be efficient enough so that the end product would be affordable to the base of the pyramid, right? To those who do not have surplus to invest in nutritious and high quality products to consume. So that is the model, but through the value chain integration and efficiency enhancement, women economic empowerment through financial inclusion, we have witnessed that. We have also seen youth employment. So a lot of things, really. One program, but it's not really one program, right? So and it takes a lot. And thank you very much for all the team and all the partners to have done this all these years. Thank you very much. And it makes us all feel proud to be part of it. And I think, and when I see everybody's face, not everybody, but yes, many people here are also smiling at the moment. And I would love to see this opportunity to take a photo, a group photo of everyone while we are smiling, right? I know it's, for some of us, it's a bit difficult to smile before coffee, but still, let's try, let's try. And I would allow the camera people and our communications people to take the leadership here. Where do you want us to be? And everyone, please, everybody. We are inclusive. እሺ ጠጋ ይበል። በጣም ጥሩ ነው አይደል? ሰብሰብ ብንበል from the left and the right. Let's consolidate to the center. Let's consolidate to the center. Huh? Still with the spirit of the program. Finish. Is it all perfect? No, it's missing me. Yes. So while we are here,
Come they smoke cannabis. Doctor say make a pop one of this. Make me fly like say I'm Aladdin. Come bring some kind melodies. Oh mommy myself no do past like this. So many things inside of my jeans. A slide down DBTs.
Process.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I believe everybody enjoyed the exhibit here. Got a chance to talk to the entrepreneurs and people who have been doing the work on the ground as well, and also got the chance to interact and have a little bit of networking opportunity as well to catch up with some of them, the partners that you have been working with at the coffee break. So now, without further ado, for the sake of our time, I would go into the next program that we have in line, which would be a panel discussion, more of a fireside chat of a group. Let's imagine that there is a fire around here, brisking and everything. For that, the person who would be moderating this and also inviting the panelists would be none other than Yemsrach Getachew. And Yemsrach is a certified food systems leader and inclusive agribusiness expert with a strong background in private sector development, particularly through youth and gender lenses. She possesses solid expertise in concept and proposal development and is known for being self-motivated, impact-driven, and results-oriented. With over 15 years of experience spanning in inclusive agribusiness development, agricultural commercialization, consultancy, higher education, and research, she has coordinated and implemented multiple initiatives through agricultural, agribusiness education, research, and development. This is a very solid profile. A person very worthy of moderating such a panel. And please join me in welcoming Yemsrach to the podium. Thank you.
This is a protocol. Thank you so much, Brooke. That was great for me to stand in front of you to facilitate this discussion and allow our distinguished practitioners to share their reflection at their practice their business along with 2SCALE partnerships. With this, allow me to start inviting my distinguished panelists. My first panelist will be the founder and general manager of Gets Agro Industry PLC in Ethiopia. He knows himself. Thank you so much. Atongudu comes with a background in electrical engineering and masters in global management from the University of Salford. He began his career as electrician before venturing into entrepreneurship in food processing machinery. Ngudu co-founded Gets Agro back in 2005, introducing an inclusive business model in Ethiopia with the first door-to-door distribution system branded as Like. He is actively involving in public-private partnerships and agribusiness development in Ethiopia, serving as a deputy chairperson of the African Agribusiness Association, the Ethiopian chapter, steering committee member for Land for Life Ethiopia, and board member of Scaling Up Business Network in Ethiopia. And join me again in welcoming Mr. Ngudu. Welcome, sir. My second panelist is a general manager of Benchmaji Forest Coffee Farmers Cooperative Union. He is committed to promoting sustainable coffee production, empowering local farmers, and strengthening cooperative development to drive inclusive economic growth in the Benchmaji region. My panelist holds master's degree in agribusiness and value chain management and Bachelor of Arts in cooperative business management. With over 14 years of professional experience, he has developed strong expertise in cooperative leadership, value chain development, and community-based economic empowerment. This is Mr. Getahun Takle from Benchmaji Union. Join me in welcoming him. My third panelist will be the general manager of Jacobs Integrated Farms Private Limited Company, also known as Chikomit Ethiopia. He is passionate about impactful business and brings extensive experience in agriculture and manufacturing operations driven by a purpose to create positive change and make the world a better place for us. Join me in welcoming Mr. Brahanu Bogala, who is the general manager of Chikomit Ethiopia. And always the last is reserved for the best, who is my former boss. He is a general manager of Shaya Shone, with over 20 years of experience in leading projects in agriculture, agribusiness, pharmaceuticals, education, energy, and development. He left none. He has worked with organizations including Shell, Heineken, BMGF, USAID, and Wageningen University, managing initiatives valued up to more than 100 million US dollars. He holds an MBA from the University of Bradford and degrees in economics and information systems from Addis Ababa University. His achievements include the Shell Africa President's Award for HR digitization and successful commercialization of PIX bag, which is hermetic grain storage bags in Ethiopia and in the Horn of Africa. For the past 12 years, he has led Shaya Shone, expanding its operations beyond Ethiopia, fostering strong local and international partnerships. Join me in welcoming Mr. Yaris Serza, the general manager of Shaya Shone. Yes, I had also, just to balance this panel discussion, we had a brilliant woman who was supposed to balance this manel. Unfortunately, she is not feeling well today and she couldn't join us. Rahel is a general manager of Damascene Essential Oils. She brings balance to the agribusiness space in Ethiopia in facilitating inclusive business in the southwestern part of the country, including or integrating 5,000 women farmers in the spices business. So, just to colorfully start our panel discussion, I want to ask just one word or one sentence our panelists to tell us what comes to their mind when they think inclusive agribusiness, and you can contextualize it if you want in the context of Ethiopia. What comes to your mind when you listen or think about inclusive agribusiness in Ethiopia?
Thank you, Sraj. For me, it comes community participation. To explain my point in one sentence, agribusiness, especially the inclusive agribusiness, is not business as usual. It is very complex business model that needs everyone to participate, including the vulnerable groups who are communities, the farmers, women, youth, and others. Otherwise, without these groups' participation, inclusive business model itself will not be a means to reach the targets. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You can hand the mic. Thank you.
For me, partnering for inclusive growth. In our experience working with this 2SCALE for the last 5 years, what I learned very well is partnership, trust. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ato Getahon. You have the opportunity of putting your idea in one sentence, if possible, in one word. Thank you.
That's tough one, but I think the first word that comes to my mind when she asked the question is collaboration. So that's the very exact word that I have in mind. And then to further explain a little bit, so converting the one word into one sentence is that, I mean, we cannot operate in the industry without partnering or collaborating with others, be it backwards or forward. Then at the end of the day, we want to grow the industry. So we grow in that industry, so we have to collaborate with people, with stakeholders. That's what I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Burhano. Next is Yared.
Thank you, Mr. Well, I think the one word that comes to my head is resilience. Resilience, I can interpret it from 3 perspectives. Number one is, I think we need to have a very resilient business model, because inclusive business model by itself, I think it has a lot of tweaks and a lots of components. So I think the business models that we are forging should be resilient to multiple factors. That's number one. Number two is the partnership itself has to be, I think inclusive agribusiness is not a short-term wheel. It is a long-term gain. In that perspective, I think like there is always a down, but I think like during the down moments, it has to, the momentum should be kept, and the partnership should be strong enough, resilient enough to address those challenging moments. I think the partnership perspective. Number 3 is, it is also like a bit like resilient toward the actual business delivery. I think every one of us expects, so we go to farmers and we talk to them, and then next year we expect everything will be great. In reality, that outcome coming next year may not be, actually it is not the same, it will not be the same as what we are expecting. So I think the actual business, the business model, the partnership should be resilient and long-term enough to deliver the results that we aspire through the inclusive business model. Thank you.
Thank you, Yared. Now I learned what one sentence means. Yeah, thank you so much. So this, from one word from each of our panelists, what I can pick, like Brooke did as a keyword, is inclusivity is an opportunity, not for others, but oneself itself. For example, if a company is involved in inclusive business, it's not only providing opportunity for those who are coming to partner with the initial business model owner. It's rather a win-win relationship that's going to be created among the key stakeholders that involve in that particular partnership. So that requires sharing the value is essential to align business goals with development ambitions. With that said, I want to also underscore the resilience component. We're not partnering, or we cannot deliver a business by our own. We need who is involved in that sector for us to deliver. So everyone involved is a key to deliver on agribusiness for all. So trust, opportunity, resilience, and sharing the value is the keywords that I picked from your one word. Having said this, Yared already started explaining about the ecosystem, the inclusive ecosystem, particularly in Ethiopia, but you can expand it to the continent as well. For you, what should inclusive ecosystem should look like? And as a company, as a business owner who is in this landscape for more than a decade, what are the key success factors in inclusive business? Jared, you have 5 minutes to reflect on this.
That's very difficult, Mr. So no, I think this is a great question. I think like from the ecosystem point of view and looking into what are really the key success factors that we can we like I should also relate to that to our own journey. I think number one is somebody mentioned collaboration. I think you know, Mr. You were with us when we started the Pixback commercialization, and then I think like there was two dilemmas. So one group, like from our development partners, they were saying, let's go top-down approach. And then we insisted, no, we go for the, you know, with an inclusive bottom-up approach. And that inclusive bottom-up approach is actually, we went to Warada level, we talked to vendors, agro dealers, and we trained, and you know, finally it resulted the results that we aspired. So I think the thinking is, we need that collaboration from grassroots to the higher level. So we have the ministries, the development partners, the agro dealers, the cooperatives, all on board on the ship for one goal. Of course, you know, those collaborations, they should happen only if there is a serious business case for them to collaborate. We don't need to invite everyone for the sake of being, you know, staying on the boat unless there is a serious business case. So I think having parties on board with a serious business case is number one, or collaboration between them is number one. Number two is, I think I would still repeat in the ecosystem, I think it is commitment and, you know, resilience of the partners. The word that I already used earlier is extremely important. I think, you know, in the process, when we are working in an inclusive agribusiness, it is not all opportunities and the rosy stories that we are talking. I think it's always, we come to this kind of meeting, we can say, you know, the case stories, the story, the nice story, you know, how we changed the life and how, you know, that happened. But, you know, in reality, there are also painful moments from behind. So I think a partnership that can survive the painful moments from behind is extremely important. So I think that you know, when there is pain, commitment is tried. Seriously, it becomes fragile. So how we can make sure that commitment keep thriving or keep going even in the face of, you know, difficulties. That's really important. So I think that's the second point. I think the third point that I would say is, if not, I think, you know, at the end of the day, there should be progress. I think like there should be timeline and there should be progress. We cannot continue claiming inclusivity without graduation or without maturity. Everything has, you know, a maturity period. So if I am starting an inclusive business and getting some support, you know, from the government, from development partners, I have to make sure, of course, that way, some of the things, the partners will help me for some time, but after some time, those partners are not there anymore. So I have to make sure I am graduating from the partnership to the real business relationship and the sustainability along the way. So I think this is extremely important. So I think we start inclusive business, possibly in most of the cases, in the presence of development partners, in the presence of government partners. Let's say after 4 or 5 years, we should be operating between our farmers at the grassroots, the business, and the maybe supply chain agents who could really deliver the business. So I think there should be a phase, there should be a maturity stage where the dynamics and the role of the actors keep changing, and the main actors coming really taking the lead role. The last point that I would like to emphasize is I think like this is more on the landscape level. I think like we say inclusive agribusiness. I don't know, maybe under 2SCALE to what extent we did on policy matters. I think at the end of the day, particularly for businesses and also for farmers, the incentive to remain inclusive should be, the social goals are important, no doubt with that. But the economic goals are the ultimate binding factors. And economic goals could be achieved, say, did I get better products at better price? Or did I get some, incentives from the government in terms of tax or in terms of, other mechanisms? I think these are structural things. So I think it's really important when we are talking about inclusive agribusiness, we need to seriously also work with the government and other entities. What is really beyond the social goal? What are the concrete economic contributions to the business? Plus what the government can really offer also as an incentive, say in terms of tax holiday or in terms of tax incentives or in terms of some sort of subsidy. An inclusive business and another business, both getting the same tax, the same treatment, the same everything, the issue, particularly within the context of the social, I'm not denying the social aspect, that's for sure. But I think it has to be seen from a policy and a regulatory perspective, that there must be a sustainable and long-term structural incentive that can help businesses, that can motivate businesses to engage more and to invest more on this kind of businesses. Let me stop here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Yared. I think one thing I recognized from Yared's reflection is he likes the C's. He started with collaboration, he continued saying commitment, and later he said commercial viability, which is one of the pillars of 2SCALE principles. So the bottom line for inclusive business to thrive is the relationship should be guided by the commercial viability of the business model itself to sustain itself beyond the partnerships that the development actors are starting. Thank you, Yared, for that. We'll come back on policy. That's why I left policy. And partnership is not a rosy and good stories only. He said there are also painful moments, and it will be strong when those painful moments are supported in a way. It can be adaptive and sustainable when those commitments are checked for its perseverance. Thank you so much. That was great, Yared. Thank you. I will come back on supply chain development when it comes to using inclusive business models. I want to go to Ato Ngudu. He's a pioneer in the inclusive agribusiness business model in the country. And I want him to reflect on how the public-private partnerships should be structured to deliver not only the social goals, which Yared was mentioning, but both on business growth and social impact as well. How do you think in the agricultural sector that can be better structured from your experiences?
Thank you. I will start just like I read from the key factor for agriculture partnership, especially for public-private partnership. So the key factor for this partnership is a shared value designing shared value partnership that meets or that answers the interest of different partners and to make them achieve their goal, or that would make it a mutual benefit of partnership. So that's the beginning or foundation for partnership. This leads us to create or design a common agenda or goals, objectives, and visions, which is different in terms of government, the NGO, private sector, and farmers cooperatives. In my experience, the first time it is good to mention Techane. I will make it practical here. I made Techane to work on the soybean supply chain, which is a need for the farmers as a market. For us, it is a sourcing of quality product as well as traceable product and sustainable as well. And with that partnership, we didn't want to go forward, but we wanted more, like we want support from 2SCALE on the marketing side as well. Because, okay, let's produce our products, that's emergency-based product with the raw materials that we can find or we can get from the farmers. But how about the market, to change the market, which is dependent to the emergency market? So the receiver of Techade's burden, Addis, with him, we created that marketing model, which goes to the consumer itself, because it was not affordable to the market that we produced for the emergency market. Because of that model, because of that partnership, we can fulfill the need of public, which is job creation, nutrition, economic empowerment, and as well as the development partners of their interest to link the market, farmers, with the private sector, the farmers' interest to go or get market for their own product, as well as to access or reach the low-income consumers with affordable product. Okay, with that, we can continue, how partnership structured. We can continue by creating or clearly defining the role and responsibilities of each partners. Defining these roles also is very vital, because there will not be overlapping responsibility as well as complication when going to the action. So we had a responsibility of buying the raw materials, producing the product, organizing the women, training with NGO as well as the government people. And the farmers will have their own responsibility of providing a quality product with their needs and intervention, technical intervention that comes from 2SCALE, which improve the quality as well. So that tells how the clear roles and responsibility goes as well beside the theory. From there, we try to establish the inclusive agribusiness value chain, which, of course, like I said, from the farmers to the market. In that as well, there are communities which I mentioned, participants in every way, as input supplier or distributor or material providers, related industry who are involved in other industries as well. The innovative finance or suitable finance is very important for partnership. Another key point, which was also solved through the partnership, because the partnership model was a co-invest partnership model where we contribute as well as the donor contributes, even the farmers contributes their ability as well. So, but for partnership, we still need innovative as well as suitable, again I repeat it, which we don't have currently because of the finance product. The current existing finance products are not as suitable as the need or as the demand. It is an old traditional way of providing finance products, which failed in our case as well. We even created, with our partners, we created a bartering dealing system because of the shortage of finance. We couldn't provide them enough finance to the farmers. They have the product, we are the market, there is no finance between us. The good thing is they have the ability to get loan from the bank, but if they take the loan, they have to pay the interest for us. So we need to cover, or that's our responsibility, to cover the interest. And it is like a bartering. You see, we take their loan indirectly, fulfill the relationship. Sometimes we were in shortage of finance. They are even giving us a product. We will give them a product as well. That's what also a bartering system. So for partnership, innovative finance or suitable finance is also vital and key. With that, because the partnership needs a clear metrics, impact metrics as well, because we all have interest in goals. The metrics were also should be measured accordingly. For the farmers, it is to increase production as well as sales volume. For us, it is business growth as well as reaching more consumers. For the partners, it was also the linkage and the impact on the community, the youth, women, and the farmers. So we had that measuring, clear measuring metrics that led us also the accountability and transparency, trust structural, which we see and review activities as well. Thank you, Ms. Raj.
Thank you so much. That was huge to listen from the horse's mouths. We have seen how a value chain can be coordinated when we have inclusive business champions like Atongudu, the owner of Gets Agro Industry. He started saying everyone needs to have an incentive to involve in inclusive business models. He mentioned it as a shared value. So the farmers need to have an incentive to work with the business entities. Entrepreneurs like Atongudu needs to see the value in working, or the incentive in working with development partners like 2SCALE to inclusively grow their business, reach the farmer side, even to innovate more on accessing finances which are not conducive enough to meet the demand of businesses against the supply available from the financial institutions. The other key point I found to underscore at this point is the role division. We have our own roles in inclusive business landscape. When everyone discharges the roles and the responsibilities expected from the farmers to come up with quality and quantity raw material for businesses to fully operate in their installed capacity and feed the consumers that are waiting with nutritious food in the market and creating opportunities in between the value chains for youth and women is what we have seen, how a partnership, inclusive partnership through a public and private partnership can be structured, not only in Ethiopia, but beyond. That's how I can take it. I want to proceed with Getahun. Getahun is a partner in the honey value chain where the forest of the country is found, and that area is known for forest-based spices, coffee, and mainly now honey, which is a partnership with 2SCALE. So as a business champion for the honey partnership, what challenges have you faced in implementing the inclusive business model in honey in the southwestern part of the country? And we like to listen or learn. How did you overcome them?
Thank you very much. The challenge is we can choose from them. To mention all of them, it's big. It may take time and yes, maybe boring as the one in honey value chain. The one challenge is this: the market chain is not linked with like we also work in coffee. Like the coffee, we don't have clear value chain. Marketing chain is the main. The other thing is to produce honey. It's very challenge. It's honey also the behavior of a bee. The people can't reach them easily. They need management and like that also at a production part. The behavior bee also is a challenge. The honey is in southern regions. They put it in a high tree. To bring down it in to garden is very another challenge, and because of this, the women do not participate at that business. In this project, to focus to bring that honey to garden and supply it to the market, and really I appreciate the project. We success it. We are very happy to that activity to then that and supply to honey to the market. And also the other thing, to export or to supply it to market, it needs some certification, food safety certification. You know, people eat honey without cooking it. They care for their health. They need clear certificate, the way the honey is processed, how it processed, and like that. They need that certificate, and we also look for work on that. One Boping is there. Thank you, Sushan and others. They are participating on that. This is because we need to sustain this project. We not need to stop here. So we approach them. They are also acting on that part. We bring the honey to garden, but it needs market. To market it, we need certificate, every certification, and the Boping is acting on that. I want to thank them to be with us here, and that means we not stop producing honey and supply to market. And the other thing is, it is the challenge is common. They also arise it as this time where a challenge supplying money to farmers. Yes, finance. We don't get loan from the bank. It's not easy to access finance and that is also it needs high trust. Now the trust is actually in challenge. What I like this 2SCALE project is you build trust. I met so many people today, and we communicate how we can solve that financial problem. If we solve that financial problem, we can supply coffee. The farmers now, they produce honey, and we have a processing facility. We need work on that, but the marketing and the price and the linkage is very important. This is small challenges I mentioned. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. When he started, he was struggling to choose from the many challenges that they have in the honey sector in that region. But later, we can see the hope. He said, this is a least challenge that we have in the honey value chain in the West. So he picked mainly the nature of the business aligned to the nature of the sector itself. Like I said, the region where they are is known for forests. That is the place where the country can mention where the forest is. So the way they produce honey in that region, the production system is mainly traditional. They hang the hives on the trees, which the women cannot participate because they have to climb the trees and manage the bees. And we know bees are not domestic animals. So the partnership essence of the Benchmark honey value chain development was mainly to transit traditional production system to women-friendly and backyard production of honey by domesticating the bees in the backyard of women and transitioning a male-dominated production system to a women participatory production system was the ambition of the partnership. So he also reiterated the critical challenge that they are facing when it comes to financing or suitable financial products to include more farmers in the honey production system, which he continued working with other partners as the product is raw consumed. It requires assurance towards its safety for consumption. And now they are working on certification of the product to assure consumers the product is up to the standard and safe for consumption. And we say food is not food if it is not safe. Yeah, thank you so much. That is what I can take. I want to come to the policy environment, which Yared started. Brahanu, can you reflect for us, looking at your experience in inclusive business model in poultry value chain as Chico Meat, or reflecting generally to the inclusive agribusiness space in Ethiopia, what institutional support or changes do you require as agribusiness practitioner to have more enabling environment for inclusive business?
Thank you, Mr. Raj. I think, again, I will talk very top ones. And the first thing that I have in mind is, as a policy or as a support, it doesn't matter. But ease of doing business at each and every interval of, if I take my industry as a poultry industry, so ease of doing business from start to end, be it import, export, be it production, be it farming, and then or wholesaling, retailing, or even consumption. So nationally, we have to think of making doing business right and simple. It's not about, I'm not recommending not to have specifications or requirements, but at least making it clear and then making it easy to do. That will enable farmers, that will enable manufacturers like us, that will enable all the wholesaler retailer thing. Or countries like us, we also depend largely on importing things, few requirements, few inputs and all that. And the things will need to be very simplified and then very clear. People should know what specifications, what requirements are required, and then people can act on those things priorly, and then people expect what to do next. This is the dream that I have for my country, that every day I wake up and then there should be a simpler way of doing these things right. Not only for me, for my partners, for my outgrowers, for my outlet that I serve, then there should be a way. So ease of doing business, promoting that as a nation, promoting that as the industry operator is a very key thing that I would always dream that we can get every day. Saying that, the second element that I want to talk about, that I always wish to have as a support, or especially in the agriculture industries mostly, is that driving knowledge-based industry. So knowledge unlocks innovation. So the more we know, the more we can be innovative. And I even myself sometimes when I'm purely come from a commercial background, and then I have less knowledge about technical things about farming, and then I spend half a day with one expert, and then I blame myself. I should have known this before even starting doing it. And then knowledge is always something that should be promoted, that everyone should get support every day, because that is the key for incubating new businesses, even incubating specializations, because the more we know, the more we can specialize, and then we can also leave other parts. Okay, this is not my specialty. I need a third party to involve here, and then somebody can come and do business here. For example, we do partner with outgrowers, so we give them small chickens, and then they grow us back, because we didn't have enough resources. Then we said, okay, this we can only hire professionals to manage them. Then a lot of farmers can involve in, and then we can teach them how to do it, or we can add to the knowledge what they have now, and then we can do business together. So knowledge is a very good thing to operate, to incubate businesses, to promote the inclusive agribusiness in general. And that knowledge should come as a culture, and people can always think of, okay, what knowledge am I trying to transfer, and where can I get it? Where is that knowledge available? So new entrants especially can get the knowledge, can start to work. And as a nation as well, we can build a lot of expertise in terms of the sectors we operate in. So I think of these two things, Semi.
Thank you so much. You can keep it. Thank you. I think, as we all agree, supportive policy environment and regulatory environment is very critical to give confidence for the private actors to put their resources as investment. And from his submission, what I noted is you cannot do by your own everything in the agribusiness space. You need to invite those who have the expertise, who have the capacity to complement your business. And that is how you be inclusive enough and then complementary enough in the food provisioning system. Thank you for that, Brahanu. I want to come back to Yared for how he managed to develop a more resilient supply chains using the inclusive business model. What practices helped you to build a stronger and resilient supply chains? And I know PICS is in our heart always. We work it together. Some are discouraging me to pick this name, but PICS is a vibrant product which we are proud to sell it. Yared, you have the floor.
I think you should also answer that. So no, I think this is for how long do you want me to talk?
2 minutes.
Okay, okay. No, I think this is very interesting. We turned from supply chain developer to full-fledged manufacturers, the whole story. And I think it was in 2012 or 13, you were there, Al-Azhar was also there. So the first time, I think PICS bag, Purdue Improved Crop Storage, it's a hermetic bag. So they came to Ethiopia a year before, and I think they were working with some development organizations, and the whole advice, as I mentioned, they were getting was, no, I think get this through the government system, through the cooperative systems, more a top-down approach. I'm coming to your specificity and how it turned flipped later. I think then, I think for that 1 year, also manufacturers, local manufacturers, it was a struggle to pick. So somebody from the Gates Foundation, who was, the Gates Foundation was financing this whole project, and we did an assignment a year before with the Gates Foundation, and they recommended maybe talk to these guys because they have a better understanding of how supply chain works, how the private sector works, and how these kind of systems actually work along the chain. So they come in, and the moment they come in, I think like it was actually Al-Azhar and myself and Dr. Didone from Purdue, like, you know, the whole proposition is we think bottom-up approach is the best approach. So what is bottom-up approach and how did it work and what happened over the years? I think those are really important. I think the first thing we agreed on those principles, and the first thing is we went all around the country, I think almost to the east, to the north, to the west, wherever there are critical, important value chains which are needed for the PICS bank. And we were assigned as a consultant, as I mentioned. Now we are consultant. So I think we recruited, I think it is within 3-4 months, we recruited 350 vendors. Or these are real people at the grassroots, Warada level people. And then within that 3 months, we invited all those 300 people you were there. So to Addis, to train them about the product, to train them the business opportunity, to train them how the overall system works. So that was, the first point. The second is also initially to find a manufacturer. Purdue gives a license for the bags to manufactured locally. And I think it was mostly Alazar and myself and Bahailu. It was a huge struggle to find a reliable manufacturer. We went all around Addis, looking into factories, giving them the possibilities. And, at the end we got one. But I think, as, the way the manufacturers see this kind of business is very different from the way we see. I think the inclusive part is very missing, I think, there. I think, so we put the manufacturer out of, the different we visited. Then the whole thing is to connect the nodes. So how we can really make a relationship or a mechanics that can deliver bags manufactured in Addis to Aira Guliso in West Wallaka. So that's really these are small towns. So I think that is really the whole chain. And in the process, I think, we really struggled. I think the whole thing is the manufacturers, then, the guys in Aira Guliso, they send their money. So this is an upfront, they send their money. And then the guys in the manufacturing, they say, we don't know, they keep delaying the product. And then we started digging down. I will summarize later. Digging down, and when we dig down, they complain, we don't have enough raw material to manufacture these bags. So what? Yeah, please help us to get a forex or someone to assist us to get a raw material to get the, enough raw material. Then we started importing and giving that raw material to the manufacturer, which is their own responsibility. Then I think even after we gave them, they use that material for something else. So the whole trust between the supply chain actors was really shaking, seriously shaking. Then I think then comes a moment that we need to reflect with Purdue and with the Gates Foundation. And I think this relationship, this supply chain network is not really working. So what can we do? I think number one is we took over the ownership of the product license. Number two is we redesigned the model. As I mentioned, we have, I think, 350 vendors working across Ethiopia. Then I think we already have started importing raw material. We took over a facility of somebody with our own custodian to manufacture the bags. And then whenever we get the money from the vendors, we deliver on time. And of course, even at the vendors level, the challenge is for the vendors to reach the product in space and the time to the last mile, to the village level. I think yet night you are here. I think we got support from SNV to develop the last mile under the IAP program. We got the last mile supply chain. So the last mile is actually use resellers organized under vendors delivering bags to village level and then also promoting. I think the whole process, if I mention what it takes to deliver an inclusive, sustainable supply chain, is a bit of the question. I think number one, guiding principle, I think make sure the right actors within the supply chain are included. That's very important. Number two is I keep reiterating the point that, the business case of working together among the supply chain actors should be loud and clear. I think that's very important. Number three is it is also a trust process. Trust, I think, like there is one football coach who says trust in the process. So I think trusting the process, you know, there should be a trust in the process, a trust in the relationship, and a trust in the long term, business opportunity that is coming. Well, I think, you know, number four is, I think you cannot do all this sustainable supply chain all by yourself. Collaboration and a partnership. We leverage so much from different development partners, including 2SCALE, the SNB, and the Gates Foundation, USAID. We leverage. So I think partnership as the right node to unlock is very important. Last but not least, I think, make sure that, the business is growing. If there is no business, there is no, inclusivity. If there is no business, there is no inclusivity. So fortunately, in our case, the business has grown. We started as a consultant. We grow up to importers. We grow up into manufacturer. And right now, actually, we are supplying to several countries in Africa. As of today, we supply to Sudan, Somalia. Today, I just received the first LC from Central Guinea-Bissau and also Central Africa Republic. So we are make sure the business is growing and it is on the right trajectory in all those processes. We should not forget the idea of perseverance and the commitment is absolutely important. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you so much, Yared. So if the product is right, it will go to solve the problem. What I have seen from Yared's submission is once they got the right product that can solve the problem of the direct users, we have gone for a need assessment. Really, does this product will have a demand? So it's not about pushing the innovations. They also started from creating the demand side and learning, adapting as you go. It's not all rosy. Sometimes you transit from being the support system to the chain actor, as Yared shared us now. I want to finish with one question to Ato Ngedu. In this process of inclusive business, what do you see the role of the government shall be?
Okay, thank you. Like I said before, inclusive business model is not a business as usual. It needs encouragement. It needs sharing the burden and risks. Because at the time, the private sector is willing to involve or engage in that inclusive business model, it is not a short-term benefit that it is planning. There is also a higher chance of failing and losing. So it needs an encouragement from the government in a policy, an infrastructure, and regulatory and law issues, and finance, like I said, like a blended finance model or other that can fulfill the need of this sector. So the government role is very huge, starting from, like I said, in policy and in our experience. They are also promoters for us. Promotion is very expensive, but if we collaborate with government, the government can promote it easily than the private sector. Enforcement and quality standards all are failing in the government hands. So that's why a public partnership or participation is very vital to achieve a result in inclusive business model. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ato Ngedu. That was really great. In inclusive business or inclusive agribusiness is really a missing link in the food provisioning system. And everyone involved, especially in eating food, should jump in the ship that Yared was mentioning previously, so that we can thrive together. No one can do it alone. We all are needed in the roles that we are, without duplicating efforts, rather complementing each other. So from what we heard, and also from the principles of 2SCALE, 2SCALE works when the environment is commercially viable for businesses. And 2SCALE uses the inclusive business champions who are proactive, who realize the business opportunity in the space and have the resilience to carry along those who are yet to see the opportunities in the food provisioning system. I want to conclude our panel saying collaboration is the name of the game. Let's collaborate, not for others, for our own sake, for us to have safe, nutritious food for us, for our families, and especially for whom we love. Much for your attention.
Thank you, Ms. Raj. Ms. Raj, can you give me 2 seconds? I would like to request your willingness to welcome our friends, the family of 2SCALE, from other African countries to Addis. I'm happy to see them today. They are the part of this journey. I mean, the first season. I know the second season is coming. I don't know how the setup and the structure will be. So this first season is ending and the second season is opening. So thank you very much, guys.
Okay, let's sit back. I think we need to receive questions. Apologies. Let's sit back again. Sorry, I thought I can have the honor to release my panelists to receive questions, but I think you are the one to also get the reflections. So this is a time to receive reflections also from the audience, and I can take, for the interest of time, 3 reflections from the audience. Now you have the chance. I will give one opportunity for this row, one from this side, and one from the other side. You have the chance back from the middle row. I don't see anyone with appreciations for our journey of 13 years of inclusive business growth in Ethiopia. I think Ato Elias from the middle row. Okay. Yes, he has a chance. Can I have one from the third row? Or I can come later. Sir, you have the floor.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. My name is Johannes van Kasteren, or Jan, and I'm the team leader of a program called Enhancing Economic Transformation for Ethiopia, basically helping the EU to set up a grant scheme for IDPs and refugees. So today is a special day because 10 years ago, I was actually regional coordinator for the 2SCALE program. So I was closely involved in developing some of these partnerships. And I think it's important that we also acknowledge that 2SCALE, that actually started in 2012, funded by the Dutch government, played a very important role in this setting up this kind of incubator programs. And actually the 2SCALE program built on the Thousands to Millions program, which is actually a predecessor in 2006. So that means that I think the Dutch government really played an important role to develop this kind of incubator programs, who have basically become like mainstream. All the programs focus on market systems development. So why it's so important for me to be here is not only because I want to celebrate this with the 2SCALE partners and team, but also we talk about inclusivity. So I think after Gareth, you mentioned there should be progress, there should be some, let's say, graduation in the partnerships. So I think it was fair to say that, of course, it was difficult to set up market systems with small-scale farmers, for example. But we must also have learned from that period. So maybe we are ready now for the next challenge and see if we can set up real market systems in the context of refugees, IDPs, returnees with the host communities, building on larger partnerships with, let's say, lead firms. Yeah, so I'm very happy that that the 2SCALE has come up with a structure where some of these ideas continue to develop. Yeah, so there's the Africa Agribusiness Academy, which will play a very important role. And I'm very happy that to announce that on Thursday we actually have a brainstorming session with some of the members to see where can we make that link with these concepts to the IDPs and refugees and returnees host communities in Ethiopia. So I really hope that this this spirit, these concepts, not only continue to stay active, but also continue to develop, because we will need to see still how to crack the same nut, but in the context of IDPs and refugees. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Diana, you can bring the mic here. I think let's collect the questions and then I will provide the chance for our panelists to respond.
Yeah, thank you very much. Panelists have said, have highlighted key points, which are, of course, expected from the horse's mouth, because these guys are practitioners of inclusive agribusiness. What I came to understand actually is because the inclusive agribusiness was able to thrive because there was strong support from the partners, like 2SCALE, for instance, or Gates Foundation, or some other. So because of the very complexity nature of inclusive agribusiness, how do you guys think how this inclusive agribusiness could continue at the absence of partners? How do you think that it would continue for those who think to include all actors in the future business endeavors? Well, what makes it complex actually is, as Yared very nicely stated, is the business case, understanding the business case itself. The benefit they are going to get from this inclusive approach itself is very complex. And the level of understanding of, let's say, cooperatives, business person, even government is so fragmented. So bringing these all important notes to make it functional and continuously productive is very important. So the synergy between the stakeholders also need more clear understanding, where I see a type of importance of shaping the understanding of inclusive business itself. You know, not all are understanding it very well, and that's because of that very fact. There is a big gap between understanding what Yared is doing or Atongidu is doing by government representatives, or even by the down the ground level players. So to gap that, the mindset change is very important, and that is where the area we need to also somehow think how to address the mindset shift into inclusive agribusiness, but particularly in agribusiness, which by its very nature require inclusive approach. So the mindset shift approach and the sustainability at the absence of partners, for instance. I would like to get your...
Thank you so much, Ato Elias. That is really good points to reflect, especially at this point where we celebrate the close out of 2SCALE that used to work on inclusivity, or the development of inclusivity mindset, not only in the businesses, but also in the ecosystem. I think Tongidu and Yared can take whichever questions that you feel is Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Raj. Ato Elias didn't ask a question, he gave an answer because he's one of the leader that's going to take over the process. That's why I say it is a question and an answer. We started this partnership with 2SCALE long ago because we are in a better position to serve and promote an inclusive business model in Ethiopia. It's not the only reason that 2SCALE become partner with African Agribusiness Academy Association in Ethiopian chapter, but also we have different partners that are involved or engaged in agribusiness sectors in all kinds. Also, we also have members, associations, academia, consultants, and others who are actively involved in agribusiness sector. So this partnership with 2SCALE, it started with introducing what inclusive business model is, what is a BOP market, what are the challenges of implementing inclusive business model in Ethiopia. And we had different workshops, trainings, best practice, knowledge exchanging, sharing, exchanging platforms. Also, we are lucky to have the 12 years, like I said, the 12 episodes and the 13 settings in different countries, experience that is found in one place as a resource, which can be used for the next season. So with that, we have the good and bad sides. We have the best practice of not only Ethiopia, other African countries. So we are starting to establish with the foundation of the Ethiopian Agribusiness Club in Ethiopia. And we already started to embrace new members, honorable members, technical advisors, and government representatives in this association. We are also at the stage of revising and revisiting our structure, restructuring ourselves to meet the future burden and responsibility. So with that, government is playing a big role. Who is there better than us who can talk with the government, especially in terms of policy issues? Ato Elias have been involved in contract farming before contract farming became a law in Ethiopia. He was struggling as a in policy dialogues, in advocacy, in different teams and groups and committees, and it happened. We were also working with Ministry of Education, that mission to fill the gap of knowledge and skill, and to create more managers, technical people of in agribusiness sectors. We were also working in cross-border trades in agriculture products. Name it, we have it. So with government support, NGO, and with that collaboration, we were explaining and saying and discussing. I think that's a clear road, except the missing money which comes from the USAID. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Atongedu. I think the word academy that Taka selected as a trusted partner in the handing over process and in the knowledge sharing process over the last 1.5 years is a strategic move to ensure we have a trusted partner who can take the journey that the program started. Yared, since Atongedu reflected on his brother's question, can you reflect on the first question?
Yeah, I think I would rather reflect on both. So I think the IDP and refugee case and the issue of sustainability. I think also I said during one of the sessions that I was moderating for the 2SCALE events, one of the core things is a private sector must lead. Must lead. I think this is really the dynamics that we need to change. And I think I really appreciate 2SCALE for bringing African Agribusiness Academy into the limelight. It's extremely important. Business membership organizations so far, in many ways, have been, they lacked and they have been missing. Partly because I think, like, business membership organization should have a very solid value proposition of its current and long-term aspiration. And African Agribusiness Academy has a very solid value proposition of driving IBM going forward. The whole existence, establishment, and aspiration of African agribusiness is to how we can make sure our supply chains are inclusive, our business models are inclusive, our business cases are inclusive. I think that's really important. And I think strengthening African Agribusiness Academy, and it's owned by entrepreneurs. We are real ourselves, our members, and we are entrepreneurs, and we are not paid. And I think we can contribute, and we can really help. But I think, development corporations are really needed because everything has a growth stage, as I mentioned. So at the growth stage, so lead by the private sector or the business membership organization, development organizations are always there to unlock the early stage deadlock, the sticky parts. I think this is where I really want to make a note. Ato Elias knows it all, and he has made all the points. Ato Ngudu also. I think development organizations who are here, I think if you really closely work with us as part of the African Agribusiness Academy, I'm pretty confident that you will have more to gain and more to impact. That's really important. And I think one last point, I think government's really important. We cannot speak about government in the absence of, in a country like Ethiopia overall, where government services are too big and too important. But the private sector should be able to engage government in a sustainable and in a professional manner. Dialogue, proper communication, engagement. The government also wants feedback. Ato Elias, you know this very well. You have been doing this for so long. I think the government appreciates having quality ideas and having ideas that can work. So technically, if the private sector is committed and qualified enough to lead, I'm pretty confident we can, then with this, the development partner really helping us, we can be heard by the government. We can influence, we can persuade the government to mainstream, to rechange some of the policies. I think this is what I can say. Regarding the IDPs and the refugees, I know IBM by itself is inclusive business models by themselves are inclusive. So it's technically inclusive to everyone. But I think, having a concrete business case that works for IDPs and that works for refugees is not an easy task. It is really serious, difficult. I am a consultant. I'm a consultant of business models, and I think like in most of, we can have some story type, but scalable business cases, sustainable business cases that can include refugees who came from other countries to another country and who want to have some, a business model for subsistence or livelihood is different from a business model from a commercial, sustainability or a commercial scale up. So I think we really need to find, number one is what are really the concrete business cases available that are inclusive enough and that can work for the IDPs and refugees. Number two is, I think it's all about knowledge and capacity. I think like IDPs and refugees, they need knowledge, they need coaching, they need support. I think from development partner, from business membership organizations, from supply chain actors, investment in terms of tangible, not only tangible financial support, but also investment psychosocial and investment in terms of knowledge of doing and doing it better. I think that is, knowledge is very important this is just my opinion. So this is where business membership organizations can really come into the picture. They can share their experience, they can do the coaching. And number three is, I think linking the whole dots within the supply chain network is extremely important. I think you know, we cannot talk about business model, we cannot talk about inclusivity without a working supply chain. It doesn't work. The economics of, you know, business cannot exist without supply chain. So there must be someone who is looking for those products, willing to pay for those products, and able to, you know, take the scale that's coming. So I think these are some of the pieces that I can take. Mr. I know I took too much time, but for, you know, forgive me, I spoke out of passion.
Thank you. We love to hear the passionate submissions on what is really working on the ground. So I think in terms of IPDs, knowing their context and coming up with a business model that works for the condition is what you have said strongly. For businesses, business by itself is about making profit for the business owner. So if there is no profit for the business owner, he himself is not in that space. So the bottom line here is there should be economic gain for the actors in the inclusive business space to thrive, to sustain. And casting inclusive model in the school curriculums is what I can take from Ato Elias' question, which African Agribusiness Academy will take it forward from still the promises that we heard in from the experiences also from Ato Ngedu and Yared. I want to thank my panelists for the passionate submissions, for your good work on the ground for our people. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. As usual, I was taking notes, but this time I was taking note on how to brilliantly moderate. Right, so let's give a round of applause for the brilliant moderation and for the great insights. Thank you, Ms. Raj. So it feels like we haven't heard enough from the smallholder farmers, represented, of course, through their cooperatives and cooperative leaders. So for that, we would go to the next agenda in line, and I would like to invite 3 representatives from 3 different cooperatives, but each of them would be getting 3, maximum 5 minutes to share their take and to share their experience working in the 2SCALE program. And first, in order, I would be inviting Yuhune Danyo, and he is General Manager of Tsahai Multipurpose Farmers Cooperative Union. Please, Yuhune.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Let me some stories telling about the 2SCALE and Tsahai Multipurpose Farmers Cooperative Union. Let me introduce myself. My name is Yuhune Danyo. I came from Tsahai Multipurpose Farmers Cooperative Union, which is located in Amhara region that have based on Gondar city. This union have a lot of members. I think 200 and above primary cooperatives, plus 145,000 farm members. This union engages in a lot of sectors especially in agricultural sector. I think I go to back to 5 years ago. 2SCALE and Zahai can join at Zahai downing or bankrupted. The 2SCALE group comes to us and they discuss with what's the problem of the union. They ask me. I think this union was patient. They come to the special doctors from 2SCALEs. They can ask my diseases, our disease. They examine. They list the problems critically. Just they find the problem, they can set an innovative solution together. The first one is in our company, especially in the edible oil company, there is a problem of inputs. There is a problem of inputs, financial problem, lack of some technical persons. This is the problem. 2SCALE starts the solution with us. The first one is introducing improved seed, especially Niger seed. The second innovative solution we put together, enhancing the collaboration with union. They work together as Nigers, the same area. The second one is upgrading our aggregation on Niger seed to strengthen the aggregations. The fourth one is they facilitate us the financial problem. We provide, or they provide us a loan from Rabobank from Netherlands. Our financial problem is solved. Then a lot of short and long-term training was trained by, or capacity building developed by the 2SCALEs. And finally, in policy engagement is hard. They help us. Finally, we say this strategic innovative solutions. We are from ICU to somehow a very good healthy company with a lot of participation. So now nowadays my union or my cooperative union is in a very good financial status, a very good in capacity building or trained, skilled manpower. The factories really produce efficiently. Now, I think in Amhara region is the best cooperative nowadays by supporting 2SCALE. Thanks to 2SCALEs. Please clap them. This is a true story underground. I'm witnessed in this process. So thank you very much for 2SCALEs supporters, IFDC, Bopink, SCNV, and so on, and Federal Cooperative and others, private companies. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Yuhune, for sharing your testimony in the process and progress of 2SCALE's intervention and how you worked with a team of the consortium and the professionals to take up the union from where it was to where it is now. Thank you very much. And second, let's hear from Samin Tlahun. He's seed production team leader at Guna Seed Farmers Cooperative Union. Samin, please to the stage. You can clap for him, by the way.
Okay, thank you. My name is Samin Tlahun. I am from Guna Union. I want to share some activities we have done with 2SCALE program. Our union name is Guna Seed Production and Marketing Cooperative Union, which is located in Amara region, Dabra Tabor town. Our union has 31 primary cooperatives, membered primary cooperatives, and more than 7,000 farmers which produce seed. We laid our business on more than 9 crops, basically excluding Niger seed and haricot bean. After we agreed with 2SCALE program, we start business with haricot bean and Niger seed, which is potential in the area. What we have achieved with 2SCALE program is, by the way, we have 2 basic problems before that. The first problem is early generation seed, and the second problem is marketing regarding with the Niger seed and haricot bean. So after we agreed with 2SCALE program, we alleviate these 2 problems. The source of early generation seed. 2SCALE connect us with agricultural research institutes to get early generation seed. And we also deal with the regional government on the issues of marketing. So we alleviate these 2 things regarding with haricot bean and Niger seed. So that what we have achieved is we alleviate, we motivate Niger seed producer farmers by supplying haricot bean and Niger seed to the farmers. We also incorporate Niger seed and haricot bean in the regional seed allocation system. And also we adopt new varieties of Niger seed and haricot bean, which are more yielder and best crop varieties for the farmers to produce. And the other is we also increase the knowledge and the skills of our farmers, experts in the multiplication area, and even the union staffs. These are some of the basic achievements what we have working with 2SCALE program. And finally, we are so proud of the project activities done with us, and we are sure we will keep and scale up these achievements to benefit our member farmers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Samin. And last but not least, would be hearing from Dagmawi Shifarrao, who is marketing manager of Custom Farmers Cooperative Union. Do we have Dagmawi in the house? Yes.
አመሰግናለሁ። ያው መድረኩ እንግሊዘኛ ብቻ ሲሆን ትንሽ ቅር ስላለኝ በአማርኛ ልሞክር ብዬ ነው። ዳግማዊ ሽፈራው እባላለሁ። በአማራ ክልል ሰሜን ሸዋ ዞን ምንጃር ሸንኮራ ወረዳ ነው
ሰራው ከሰሚኔን ይባላል እና ከሰሚኔን በ1997 ዓመተ ምህረት የተመሰረተ ዩኒየን ነው። ከዚህ ዓመት ጀምሮ እስከ 2012 ድረስ ብዙ ውጣ ውረዶችን አሳልፏል። ብዙ ስራ አስኪያጆች ተቀያይረዋል። የሰራተኛ ፍልሰት እንደዛው በብዛት ነበርና ዩኒየኑ ከተመሰረተበት ዓላማ አንጻር ብዙ ርቀት መሄድ አልቻለም። በአጋጣሚ አዲስ ስራ አስኪያጅ በ2012 መጨረሻ ተቀየረና ሌላው አጋጣሚ ደግሞ ቱስኬል ወደዛ ዩኒየን መጣ ማለት ነው እና በዛን ሰዓት አግሪመንት ስንፈጽም የነበረን ካፒታል 15 ሚሊዮን ብር ብቻ ነበረ ማለት ነው። ከ2013 ዓመተ ምህረት ጀምሮ ታሪኩ ተቀይሯል ማለት ነው። የዩኒየኑ አንዱ የነበረው ችግር መሰረታዊ የሆነ የእውቀት ነው፣ የእቅድ አስተቃቀድ ነው፣ የገበያ መዳረሻ ነው። ያለው ገጽታም እዛ ባለ የመንግስት ተቋምና ነዋሪ አካባቢ ጥሩ አልነበረም። ከዚህ አኳያ ብዙ ችግሮችን ለቱስኬል ማሳየት ችለናል። እነሱም ደግሞ በደንብ ፈልፍለው ችግሩን ማግኘት ችሏል። የመጀመሪያ ስራ የአቅም ግንባታ ስራ ነው የሰሩልን። በቢዝነስ ስኪል፣ በሊደርሺፕ፣ በቢዝነስ ፕላን እውነት ለመናገር በደንብ ብቁ አድርገውናል ማለት ይቻላል። ሌላው የገበያ መዳረሻ አዲስ አበባ ከሚገኙ 10 የሸማች ህብረት ስራ ማህበራት ጋር በደንብ መተሳሰር ችለናልና እንግዲህ ዛሬ ላይ 179 ሚሊዮን ብር ካፒታል ላይ መድረስ ችለናል። በ2012 ዓመተ ምህረት 4.9 ሚሊዮን ብር ኪሳራ ላይ ነበር። በየአመቱ ግን እያደገ የመጣበት መሰረታዊ ምክንያት እዛ ያለው የተቋም ሙያተኛና ስራ አስኪያጅ በብዙ ነገር ብቁ የሆኑ ከመምጣታቸው ጋር ተያይዞ ትልቁን ሚና ቱስኬል የተጫወተልን ከመሆኑ ጋር ተያይዞ በትልቅ እንቅስቃሴ ውስጥ እንገኛለን ማለት ነው። ምናልባት ያው ስራ አስኪያጁ በአጋጣሚ ይህን መድረክ በትልቅ ደረጃ ይፈልገው ነበር። የሱም ህይወት ከዚህ ጋር የተያያዘ በጣም ብዙ ለውጥ ያመጣበትና በነገራችን ላይ በግላችንም ብዙ ለውጥ ያመጣልን ፕሮጀክት ነው። በጣም በተቋም ስም በእኔም ስም አመሰግናለሁ ቱስኬልን። በመጨረሻ መናገር የምፈልገው እንግዲህ በዛሬው ቀን ቱስኬል ከኛም ጋር ቢሆን ኖሮ እንዲህ በአካል እየመጡ እንገናኛለን ብዬ ባላስብ፣ በመንፈስ አንድ ብንሆንም እንኳን በስልክ እየተገናኘን ድጋፉ ቢኖርም እንኳን ሜቢ ላይ መጡ ይችላሉና እኛ በራሳችን ማረጋገጥ የምንፈልገው ግን ከእንግዲህ በኋላ በምንም ነገር ወደ ኋላ መመለስ አይታሰብም። ብቁ ስላደረጋችሁን አመሰግናለሁ የሚል ነው።
ዳግማዊ በጣም እናመሰግናለን። ቴንክ ዩ ሶ ማች። I wouldn't do justice in trying to translate whatever he has communicated, all the points, but I'll try to share the gist of it to our non-Amharic speaker partners in here. So before meeting 2SCALE, the union was going through multiple leadership changes as well as staff turnover, and that didn't help them. And their capital was only about 15 million birr, which was also incurring about 4 million birr bankruptcy on a year-on-year basis, and that was the situation. But then, luckily, this is a very critical point, I think, a new leadership to the union came, and you want me to move out of the space? Yes, I can move. So the union had a new leadership, and then along with the new leadership, coincidentally, they also signed an agreement to work with 2SCALE, and that changed the game. Now, as we speak, through the diagnosis that 2SCALE's team has done, they have identified multiple areas of improvement and strengthening of the operations of the union, one being market linkage, another one capacity building of the staff. And then they worked on those things, but also on partnership building of the ecosystem players in the area, including the government and other ecosystem players. That led currently to the unions having more than 179 million birr capital, which is significant. From 15 million to 179 million, also profitable. And another very critical point that Danye spoke is, it's not only the union as a union that changed and that transformed, but the human beings, the people in the organization, the leaders themselves. He wished if the management of the union, the general manager was here and spoke of that transformation for himself as a leader and as a human being. And he also attested that he himself has been changed and grew as a human being as well. And I think that is extremely critical. At the end of the day, whatever technical things that we do, if it doesn't translate into human beings' development and growth and betterment, it's pointless. The numbers, yes, they would say something, but people's lives are the ones that matter. And thank you very much for sharing this, Dagmai. Now, we heard so much about the process, the success stories and everything, but then what's gonna happen, right? So how are we going to transition this into the ecosystem players? That would be shared through the video that we'd see now, that before going into the next program. And if we are ready, let's please play the video showing how the transition would look like.
What we have started as 2SCALE will continue, because when we start, we haven't disregarded the relevant actors, because the actors will continue whether 2SCALE is there or not, because the leadership of the private companies, also the support of the government institutions were structured in a way that when 2SCALE ends, whatever we started in the 2SCALE partnership will continue. I'm very much confident because we have put the leaders in front, because the leadership of the private companies is almost there. So that gives me a relief that whatever 2SCALE has started will continue.
We have enormous knowledge in promoting, in accelerating and incubating inclusive agribusiness in the agri-food system. So leaving this knowledge without sharing to the private sector development organization is a disaster, because it will help private actors like sector associations, public organizations, knowledge institutions. They can leverage on this knowledge. So 2SCALE is very keen to share this knowledge to contribute to the agri-food system. One of our strategic pillars in 2025 is sharing this knowledge to local knowledge institution, private sector development organization. As the program approaches to its ending, we established inclusive agribusiness clubs in 2023, where African Agribusiness Academy is championing this club in Ethiopia. So this inclusive agribusiness club can be used as a platform to share these knowledge materials in the country. We have facilitated several knowledge sharing events. This one is part of that event. So
African Agribusiness Academy as a champion of this inclusive agribusiness club will continue this knowledge sharing of the 2SCALE experience.
Two-Scale, since its inception, has been running the same value that we are promoting, trying to engage the whole value chain operators in the agribusiness ecosystem, so that to really change the status quo of long-standing agriculture and agro-processing and marketing. And 2SCALE, in its endeavor, has been trying to somehow bring these stakeholders together. Our association is very much trying to bring all stakeholders, the farmers, the input suppliers, logistic suppliers, processors, and marketing. Now 2SCALE is finalizing its project, and we are very much pleased to take it forward, to let it run on its own.
Yeah.
So we are very much grateful that this is already going on. In fact, our objective is not to just make it sustainable, but to bring it to the higher level by planning to establish the agribusiness hub, or umbrella organizations that where all agribusiness associations, cooperatives, in fact, more potential individual agribusiness operators to come under this umbrella, or umbrella organizations. The practice that we have been living with was somehow sitting and waiting for governments to solve issue, questions, problems. But that never works, and it didn't work anywhere in the world. So we have to take ourselves at least most of the issues that we can address, all right? The second thing we do is to engage and seriously engage stakeholders. So our future financial source would certainly be our private sector itself. Let's join hands. That's the way we are trying to do, and also in the future we are planning to engage even research and academia into it. Individual agribusiness operators to come under this umbrella, or umbrella organizations. The practice that we have been living with was somehow sitting and waiting for governments to solve issue, questions, problems. But that never works, and it didn't work anywhere in the world. So we have to take ourselves at least most of the issues that we can address, all right? The second thing we do is to engage and seriously engage stakeholders. So our future financial source would certainly be our private sector itself. Let's join hands. That's the way we are trying to do, and also in the future we are planning to engage even research and academia into it.
Excellent. Great video. Thank you very much. I think now let's do the actual official handing over. And to lead us through that process, to officiate it, I would be happy if you all join me in welcoming once again to the podium our FDC Country Director and 2SCALE Program Deputy Director Addis Ababa to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you, Baruch. I think a lot has been said, especially from the video we just saw now. I think the whole idea of the transition is well explained. So I don't need to take your time again by trying to give you the background of why we are doing this handover. But I would like to say only one thing. So when we start as 2SCALE, and when we put the business champion as a front runner to lead the public-private partnership, the whole idea was to co-create an inclusive business model that can be commercially viable without the support of the public sector. That means without the support of 2SCALE in the long term. Of course, we have all heard from the panelists that at the initial stage of developing an inclusive business models, there are initial costs that cannot be absorbed by the business champion. They can absorb it, but that can compromise their commercial viability in the market. So the role of 2SCALE was to de-risk them in that initial stage in such a way that we can take part those critical investment that are needed to make the business model sustainable. But once that model is developed, it was the role of the business champions to scale it up and roll it over in different parts. But over the years, we have learned that even if we help the business champions to develop a business model, there is another problem. That is the ecosystem. So we help them build a sustainable business model, but we never engaged at the higher level, at institutions and policy level. So to rectify that, we started what we call the Inclusive Agribusiness Club for the last 3 years. And the main aim of the Inclusive Agribusiness Club was to be a main discussion platform for like-minded programs, policymakers, researchers, and also from the academia. So for that, we have selected the Ethiopian Agribusiness Club and the African Agribusiness Club, the Ethiopia chapter. We are really, really happy with what we have done in the last 3 years. And we have a strong belief that you will continue to grow what we have started together in the future. So to help us with the official handing over, let me invite my colleagues, Shusha, Julie, and B. So Shushan is the country director for BOPINC in Ethiopia. Julie is the country director for SNV in Ethiopia. So B had already introduced herself in the morning. Well, for those of you who come a bit late, B is the vice president for business development, IFDC. My team members, please help me now. Okay. Okay. Ato Elias, as board chairman of the African Agribusiness Academy, Engedu as deputy, and also the other board members from the AAA, please come forward. Board members. Where is Alaza? As always, Alaza is sitting at the back. Sure. All right. No, as you say, it's okay. Hmm? They should. Oh, we.
Why not?
Okay.
They can open the certificate is the small one.
So,
And
no,
the
the certificate.
is this one.
So this is the certificate.
Yes.
So I
You start with that, and then we follow.
Okay. You need to open it. You need to open it. Yeah, yes. Yes. Oh.
Where's the hanger?
Uh-huh.
Here we go.
Yes. So this is a certificate for the 2SCALE inclusive agribusiness modules. So we have developed 3 different modules, and AAA is already trained and also started facilitating these trainings together with 2SCALE. We hope that they are going to provide this certificate for the coming years and years, but not with the 2SCALE logo. It's only with the AAA logo. Thank you. Okay. So we have also another symbolic gift, but I don't want to explain about the symbolic gift before it's being unwrapped. So okay, so you might be wondering what the heck is these 2SCALE people are doing? We believe that promoting food and nutrition security, not only in Ethiopia but also in Africa, is a fight by itself. So one needs to be courageous enough to sacrifice the current gains for the long-term gains. So we selected this. So these are our forefathers from the Adwa battle, and we all know the importance of Adwa in the mindset of Ethiopians. So we hope that you will carry that spirit in fighting for food and nutrition security of Ethiopia in the future. Thank you. Can we have group? Yes, Taka. Please. Demelash, Ababao. Hey. El Shaddai, you are taking pictures. You're supposed to be taking. Yeah. Hear it. Baruch. Oh, Tajani. Oh, sorry. Yes, former 2SCALEan. All right. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. We do another. All right. Okay.
Such coolness.
All right, thank you all. So, since we have now officially handed over, it is the role of AAA to close this event. So we are no longer relevant. So, Ato Elias Nete.
Thank you very much. Me and my colleagues, the board members of AAA, are very much honored to take over this responsibility. We consider it as a national responsibility to take the objective, the core objective of the 2SCALE and that of our African Agribusiness Academy, which complements very well because agribusiness by its very nature is an inclusive type of business approach. Without inclusivity, there is no way we do agribusiness. So that's why we were very much complementary to one another. And the time we came to know each other, the time they, Atuta invited us to their inclusive agribusiness club, that's where we really came to know that exactly that's what they are doing is what we are doing as well. Because we, as Ethiopian chapter, not only Ethiopian chapter, but the rest chapters in East Africa have two models. We call it business club model, where we bring all relevant stakeholders of the given city, for instance, of Addis Ababa together, of Bahir Dar, Adama, Awasa, and the like. We bring the agribusiness players together so that they come, drink coffee together, and discuss the problems they face, and learn from one another how to solve those problems, right? So that's that way we managed to solve so many issues. The issues that goes beyond them would come to a AAA head office, and that's how we promoted it to the level of advocacy and the rest. The other one is, we call it sector desk. This sector desk also relates to similar sector players would either virtually or physically come together and discuss the issues and so solve problems in that given sector or subsector. So we have the platform already, and we have the know-how, and we are the practitioners. We don't invite people to come and teach us. We know how to do. What we don't have is the synergy with different stakeholders, right? The success story of 2SCALE that we have witnessed is because of the synergies they have made with the relevant stakeholders, development organizations, cooperatives, and the like. So we are now at the very stage where we are creating synergy. One of the basic synergy that is very much required is to address the segmented approach of solving problems of agribusiness. So most of the agribusiness associations that we have in the country are trying to address their problems in a very separate way, in a very individualistic type of approach. Now we are working toward establishing an agribusiness hub, right, where we bring all associations. All associations would become member of AAA and reshape the constitution of the association itself, so that it would become a type of umbrella organization of the agribusiness players all across the country. And that would be, that has become a very good approach even for the other chapters to replicate. So with an ultimate vision of bringing at the later stage, establishing agribusiness chamber of commerce. So by so doing, we are building different building blocks to reach to that level by organizing, bringing the stakeholders together. And to that end, therefore, we are very much committed to take and to the level that this experience, expertise that has been built through 12, 13 years by 2SCALE to reach down to the beneficiaries. For your information, our members will not be limited to only business operators, but cooperatives are our members. So the cooperative, if not the basic cooperatives, at least cooperative unions will be our members. And the door is open even for the cooperatives so that all are included. Farmers, logistics operators, processors, marketers, exporters, all are our members. So this experience that we have shared and the documents that we have got from you, which is very rich, would be disseminated through our channel and our website as well to all relevant stakeholders. And we are very much certain that me and my board will call for a success story meeting in a year time, so that most of you, if you guys are bold enough to remain with us as a, let's say, partners, then you will certainly share the experience, I mean the results that we are going to bring about. It will certainly mature to the level of bringing the voice of private sector, agribusiness private sector to the high level. We are working toward this, really bringing government into the fully fledged solving problems. No more issues of policy related to agribusiness and the rest. They are very much welcoming now. The doors are open. We call upon the partners, development organizations, to join us to bring this, as one of the panelists said today, to help synergize the different stakeholders, bringing together and understand the issue, the core issue of inclusivity. It is very, very important. That's why I raised the issue of brainstorming, mindset change, and the like, for which African Agribusiness Academy, as an academy, would establish and work hard towards including the idea of agribusiness into the curriculum of the institutions. And also, in the future, building agribusiness type of dedicated type of college besides of that, because we are already working on that. The good progress we have made so far, just to cite, is one of the very core problems that have been raised today is a financial availability, inclusivity. We have been negotiating with government and the rest stakeholders, so now the Ethiopian National Bank has endorsed a very solid directive that minimum of 5% of their loan and advance should go to agriculture sector. So this is a big progress. If they are not ready to hand over, I mean, give this loan to the farmers in smallholders, then the banks are committed to channel the finance through the microfinances to reach to the cooperatives. So issues are gradually getting answers, and we continue to work towards that, so that things related to agribusiness would be easy to do, and it's a good business to enjoy. So I thank you, 2SCALE, and the partners for joining hands to bring 2SCALE to this level and to witness the progress to be made in agribusiness at large. And we promise and be committed to bring this to the higher level where you guys would enjoy the landmark achievements that we are going to demonstrate in the very near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ato Elias. Your remark at the end almost converted me into a religious person and wanted me to say like, Amen, you know, like, yeah. So we really want to see the milestone, right? The results, and celebrate down the year. And it's not even a long time that has been put. It is 1 year, a couple of years. There are already things being done. Issues are being answered, and solutions are already underway. The progress is going on, so it shows that today's session is far beyond only ceremonial, and that's an excellent thing, and that's why I wanted to say amen, really, to seeing the result, and next year to celebrating the moves and the results. So finally, right? So I'm the only person standing between you and your lunch, I know, at this very moment. But I would like to one more time invite Samin to the stage from Guna Cooperatives Union. Please, Samin. I would say nothing and just give you the mic. And what do you want to do now? Yeah.
We Guna Union want to give certificate of recognition on behalf of our farmers, member farmers. This is a certificate of recognition to the International Fertilizer Development Center 2SCALE program. So one of you, any representatives of 2SCALE program, and we would like to give this certificate. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We will keep all the activities, all the achievements which is done by 2SCALE program, and we will also scale up all achievements. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Samin, and it's great to see that 2SCALE is not living empty-handed. So we're living with a recognition, certificate of recognition, and everybody is also living with their coupon to lunch downstairs at the restaurant as well. So nobody is living empty-handed. Thank you very much for being with us, and thank you for vouching to be champions of inclusive agribusiness. Not only inclusive, but now also sustainable. Thank you. As a